Okay guys, we get asked quite regularly, how on earth do we repair perforated leather? I want products for perforated leather. We don't do perforated paint or perforated fillers, it's not possible. So, this is how it goes. This leather here is cow leather, this leather here is cow leather. The only difference is, this has holes punched in it, this doesn't. That is the only difference that you've got. There is no special product, there is no special way around repairing it. You repair this exactly the same way as you repair this. The only difference is this is slightly more difficult to what this is. In some cases, this can be easier than this as well. So it swings and roundabouts. It's your own mindset as to how you're going to repair this. So obviously with any tear repair, you can see here we've got this tear in the seat. We've got an array of tools around here. We've got obviously a water-based leather glue. We've got some pins. We've got like a little pillar drill, scissors. We've cut a piece of fabric already. And these are just like spatulas and things to get it in. And we can sometimes use like a piece of a dart or a toothpick or something like that to help, with the holes once we, got the glue is drying, just to poke through them. With any repair that you do, it doesn't matter whether it's on this leather or this leather, you will always see your repair. I don't care what company it is that's telling you or what video that you see on social media that shows you the repair is invisible. It is fake. It's got to have been doctored because it is not possible. It's like ourselves having plastic surgery. You will always tell. So you are in effect doing plastic surgery to this seat. As in this case, it's leather surgery because it's not plastic. So the fabric we use is a polycotton. The reason we use a polycotton is it doesn't stretch, and that is very, very important. This is non-stretch material. So it's very important that you use a polycotton fabric, something that corresponds roughly to the colour of what you're doing. Obviously, you're not going to see a vast amount through these particular perforations because it's a small perforated hole in this particular leather seat. So we're going to move all the materials off that we've got, and then we're going to just start showing you how we're going to get the backing fabric in there to do that. That's one of the hardest jobs. So this little tool here is like a little pillar drill. So it's a very, very tiny drill that you can sort of see here. Very, very small, and we're going to use that once we've repaired it just to sort of put in and just drill through the holes like so. Just drill it through. So it gives us that nice sort of rounded hole effect again. We sometimes might have to use the dart to do it as well. So there's all sorts of little tips and tricks we can use, from, as I say, from toothpicks to push through to anything. And we've all been there and done it with seats that are covered in, with dirt in the holes, and we've all had to sit there very, very meticulously, toothpick and press them out. There is no magic cure, there is no device, because these holes are all different sizes depending on who the manufacturer is. So getting the backing fabric in first of all is going to be the first job. Now, if you're going to do this and the client wants this, is hiding as best as they possibly can, the first job you would do is to remove the surface colour on this particular panel so that you can actually conduct the repair properly. We're just going to show you today how to actually repair the tear, because we don't need to, I don't want to remove the surface colour on this at this moment in time. We're just going to show you how to repair the tear. That is the most important thing. So the first thing we need is a pin in the centre of the fabric like so. So it's put in the centre of the fabric. The reason for doing that is so that you don't lose the fabric under the seat once you put it in. We're then going to place that roughly in the centre of the tear itself. Then we're going to try to get that in either with one of these or one of these. So we've then got to get this underneath here so that we can get this flat and smooth. The key to getting this in is trying to hold this in position as well. So we've got to try to get this put in, and then we're going to keep that flat smooth. And then we've got to make sure that this is nice and smooth and it's very nice and flat. Keeping hold of the pin, and you're going to be able to tell if you can sort of feel by touching and feeling the leather. You're going to be able to feel if there's a ridge, if this isn't smooth or not. That, feels, I can sort of see the movement of my spatula around there. So that looks to me like it's really nice and smooth and it's perfectly fine. So we wouldn't take the pin out at this stage. First stage is to get some glue in. Obviously you want to get sufficient glue to glue it, but what you don't want to do is to overdo it. So we've got a water-based glue, as you can clearly see, it's just a water-based glue that's going to go in there, and that's what we're going to put in. So we're going to put it underneath, and just squeeze some of the glue into the gap. And just literally get that squeezed in, like so. And then we're going to push this down so that you've got some of the glue. You can see some of the glue there oozing out of the surface, which is perfectly fine. And this is where we need to sort of wipe away any excess on the surface. And then we can dry that with a hairdryer. So what we need to do now is to pull this glue that's here over to one side to move it away from the actual join line that we've got there at this moment in time. And then we are going to use a hairdryer as well to sort of do this. So we're just trying to remove away any sort of excess that we've got there. Right, now we've got that partially dry, we can hold this down and actually remove the pin. Very, very carefully pull the pin out so it doesn't pull the fabric with it. The next stage is to get your glue in this side. So again, if you can sort of see this on the video, we're going to get the glue into this particular side. We've already got plenty of glue in there from it squeezing out, but we're just going to get some more glue in there, put it on the leather as well. You want to get it on the join line. Yes, you're going to fill up the holes at this stage, but the purpose of doing this is to obviously get this to pull over. So before we put that down, we're going to get some clear tape because we want to pull the two sides together to get a nice sort of clean line. Any bits of glue that we sort of got on the surface, you can sort of just wipe those away, you know, with a cloth and just wipe that away. Try to do it obviously before everything dries. Wipe everything away before it all dries. Give it a quick dry over with the hairdryer. Just drying the surface off there where the leather cleaner was on it. So the next stage is to put the tape on here and we're going to pull this over so it pulls the tear together nice and tight. So the tear is pulled together really nice and tightly there. And then we're going to dry that with the hairdryer. So that will be sufficiently dry enough to do what we need to do. So the next stage is to roll this away from the tear. Just roll it away like so. Don't sort of pull it this way because you're going to reopen it. So we've got a nice sort of clean sort of repair there now. So now we just need to poke out the glue that's in the perforations to get us back to where we need it to be. So that it's clearly, you know, clearly shown with no glue in the perforations, which we're going to be able to in a moment. You'll be able to see that because we're going to zoom in. So you can see that we've got no glue actually in the perforations themselves. So if the video can zoom in, then we've got a tiny little bit of glue on the top here, which I'm not too bothered about at this stage. Being water-based, I can clean this off in a moment once it's all fully dry. But once we zoom in there, you can see that we've got a really nice sort of clean line and the perforations are perfect again. So you can sort of see all that very, very clearly. Not sure if I tilt it slightly, you can see it slightly better. But that is now perfectly clear. Now that is all that you need to do. Obviously from there, depending on the severity of the tear itself, we would then put in some fillers. And as you're putting the fillers in, again, you would apply some of the flexi filler or heavy filler, and you're just going to literally poke out the holes with a toothpick. There is no rocket science to repairing perforated leather. We know a lot of people get really stuck with it, but there is no rocket science to doing it. It is very, very simple. It's just thinking about it in a common sort of sense type of way that, how would I resolve this? Well, you do this in detailing as it is by poking out the perforations with a toothpick when it's got dirt in it. This is exactly the same process that you've got to do here. So basically it's the polycotton that we've used and the leather glue from LRC. It's a water-based leather glue to repair the perforation here. Any other helpful tips that you need about perforated leather, drop us an email, help@leatherrepaircompany.com. You can hop on over the website and buy the leather tear repair kit or buy the glues and things on their own. Any technical information that you need, I say drop us an email. We are here to help. We do have a leather care and repair help guide on Facebook, which you can hop on there, post up pictures and get live direct responses. We are here to help you, the client, around the world. leatherrepaircompany.com. Thank you very much.